What are the 2 to 4 key specifications that an equipment manager needs to know when they are acquiring a combi roller?
Certain types of oils don't work very well with rubber tires, especially polymer modifieds or rubber modifieds. And a lot of times you have to reduce the amount of, or the temperature that you're allowed to get on with the combination roller or rubber tire roller. Otherwise, you pick up too much material. Problem with that is when you back off on the temperature, and if you don't have a heavy enough roller, you might not get the compaction usage out of the combination roller that you want to.
How's the release agent going to be handled on the machine? Are you just simply adding it to a main tank for those rear tires as far as emulsion? Is there a separate emulsion tank? And if there is a separate emulsion tank, how is that used for the operator? Is there a momentary switch that you just use to spray on your first pass? Is it continuously going? So that would kind of be the number one question that we get out from demos is, how do I handle the emulsion and how do I do this properly? Because anytime you put rubber tires on an asphalt mat, there's sometimes a recipe for disaster, especially for unfamiliar operators or a first time of trying to go through and saying, hey, we've heard great things about combi rollers, but we've never really tried one.
Is a release agent required?
I would say it depends on where you put the machine in the train itself. But if you're putting it in a breakdown position, yes, release agent is going to be required. Anytime you run a 40-degree difference between the asphalt mat and the tires themselves, especially in a breakdown position, that's when the tires start to pick up.
Start looking at what the state specifications allow them to do if they're doing any kind of state work. And if there's any kind of minimum requirements that they need to meet. I know some states require rubber tired rollers, but they don't state what size or how many wheels that a combination roller could fall into, that you get the best of both worlds with the vibration on the front drum and the rubber tires in the back.
Because there will be state specifications that require pneumatic tire rollers on certain jobs, and or just a tire roller on a job. And if it says it needs just a tire roller on a job, sometimes they'll accept a combi roller on that job because that will serve that need. So at that point in time, if I'm an equipment operator and I have certain jobs that require a pneumatic tire roller, or one with a tire roller, and I can get by with a more versatile machine, well, that can be in my interest as well, to have a more versatile machine instead of dedicating a solid pneumatic tire roller and a double drum roller in that situation. So DOTs move quite a ways from every year. They'll change their specifications a little bit. And so the advice I would have to an equipment manager is to have some form of relationship with the local state agencies, whether it be their dealer or a OEM supplier to that dealer, so they know what's going on and what the trends are. I would say that's probably more critical than the IIJA money coming in of saying, hey, IIJA, we've got all these extra funds. We're going to now have to start using this. I think it's going to be more on the state and local level than anything else. And even then, a lot of the states will say, Ohio, I think, is the one where they say on base layer, you have to have a pneumatic tire roller, but then for intermediate and surface, we recommend you do some of these things, but hey, however you get compaction, you get compaction. So that's where some of I think those things will come into play, is more on the state DOT level on those jobs. So if there's a requirement or one's coming down the pipeline, that's a good time as an equipment manager to be involved in your local flexible pavement associations, your state, your local area APAs, your asphalt paving associations, to see what changes are coming down the pipeline, so you have a proper fleet for that.
The other thing too is just what kind of work are they doing? Are they, pretty much flat land? If they're doing flat land, rubber tires will help knead the material. But if you get steep grades, you get better traction with the rubber tires going up and down steeper grades as well too. And the nice thing about the combination roller is you can run it with the rubber tires first and finish with the steel drum. That way you're taking out the rubber tire marks from